This is the story of an encounter between two young men who shared a passion for entrepreneurship and innovation. This is the story of a small startup company in Palo Alto, California that became one of the greatest companies in the world. This is the story of a company that gave birth to America's Silicon Valley. This is the story of William Hewlett and David Packard. Born in Ann Arbor, Michigan in 1913, William Hewlett was raised under the strict guidance of his father, Walter Hewlett. In 1916, when Hewlett was merely 3 years old, his family moved to San Francisco after his father was offered a faculty position at Stanford Medical School. In San Francisco, Hewlett was introduced to the cultural, scientific, and literary world of a dynamic and rapidly growing San Francisco Bay Area. He attended Lowell High School, but as a student, the only special and noteworthy thing about Hewlett was his innate intellectual curiosity and his constant tinkering, as he called it when he sought to understand how things worked. Surprisingly, such characteristics won the admiration and respect of his high school principal, and to the astonishment of many, in 1930, Hewlett was admitted as a freshman to Stanford University. At Stanford, Hewlett pursued his interest in science and engineering and enrolled himself in Stanford's highly acclaimed radio engineering class. There, he coincidentally encountered his future business partner and lifelong friend, David Packard. Eventually, the two friends enrolled together in the undergraduate engineering classes taught by Professor Fred Terman, who was a renowned engineering professor at Stanford. One day, Terman suggested to his two brightest students the idea of starting their own company, and Hewlett and Packard agreed. Although Hewlett and Packard agreed, however, they both recognized their inexperience in the real world and promised to return and create their company after further pursuing their studies and exploring the world. By 1938, the two friends had returned to Stanford and further discussed plans to create their company. And sure enough, in the year of 1939, Hewlett and Packard, with the help of their professor and mentor Fred Terman, created their own company with an initial investment of $538. And after a coin toss to decide whether the company would be called Hewlett Packard or Packard Hewlett, HP was born in a one-car garage behind Packard's Palo Alto house.
HP는 빌 휴렛과 데이비드 패카드라고 하는 두 스탠퍼드 동창생이 1938년에 설립한 회사입니다. 지금 일반인들이 알고 있는 실리콘밸리, IT의 상징이라고 하는 실리콘밸리가 HP가 처음으로 회사를 만든 그곳이기 때문에 HP가 실질적으로 실리콘밸리의 1호 기업이라고 여러분들 이해하시면 되겠습니다.
After creating HP, Hewlett and Packard started to explore the field in which engineering, science, and business came together. The two best friends spent hours every day trying to come up with innovative products that provided utility and convenience. And after weeks and months of exploring, Hewlett and Packard came across their first invention to showcase and sell to the public. The duo's first venture was an automatic foul line indicator for bowling alleys. Although the invention was ingenious, the product had no market to sell, and its failure nearly made HP bankrupt. Despite this early failure, however, Hewlett and Packard kept exploring. After numerous trials and failures, HP introduced their next product, which was an audio oscillator that they named the HP 200A. The existing audio oscillators at the time were extremely complex, expensive, and prone to distortion. To fix this problem, Hewlett had invented an audio oscillator that utilized a small light bulb to maintain a nearly constant output of sound and frequency. This innovation revolutionized the audio oscillator industry, and HP was able to produce their oscillators at a remarkable price of $54.40, when the average price of an oscillator at the time was $600. Soon after the release of the HP 200A, Hewlett and Packard struck gold when Walt Disney recognized the huge benefits of their product and gave HP its first big purchase with an order of 8 audio oscillators to be used in its newest film, Fantasia.
What got Hewlett Packard really going was the first big order, and that came from Walt Disney for the movie Fantasia.
Even after this initial success, HP's exploration of innovation ceased to stop. With the outbreak of World War II in 1939 and America's entry in 1941, the US government developed a heavy demand for various electronic equipments to be used in the war effort. As a result, HP expanded rapidly to meet the needs of the US government's various defense projects. What began as a trickle of orders turned into a stream, then a flood, which boosted company sales to nearly $1 million by the year 1943. By the end of the war, HP had grown into a sizable company recognized throughout the US, with new manufacturing plants and more than 200 employees. And if there is one thing to which we can owe the initial success of HP, it is Hewlett and Packard's incessant desire to explore the limitless possibilities of innovation that had rarely been probed by other thinkers and businessmen at the time. As their history shows us, Hewlett and Packard were not only explorers of innovation, but also explorers of new styles of company management that revolutionized how companies were run in the late 20th century. The norm of company management at the time was one of extreme rigidity and strictness. Employees were forced to report their every action to their bosses and have their work approved before they could move on to the next task. Furthermore, any questions or complaints put the employee at risk of being fired. Under such harsh system, Hewlett and Packard saw no room for innovation and creativity and wished to create a much more flexible and easygoing atmosphere for their employees. And at the end of their search, the HP Way was born, which encompassed the unique ways in which HP was run and managed. The first aspect of the HP Way was company management style pioneered by Hewlett and Packard, which came to be known as management by walking around. Under this type of management, overall objectives were clearly stated and agreed upon by the entire staff of HP, and the workers were given total flexibility and freedom as to how those objectives were met. This was a revolutionary style of company management, as no other company at the time provided such autonomy and independence to its employees.
The essence of the HP Way. Top management sets the overall objective and then gets out of the way and lets the people do it.
Exploring this decentralized company management style allowed Hewlett and Packard to foster creativity and innovation among their workers, which arguably led to the creation of HP's diverse product line in a short period of time.
Bill and Dave encouraged people to be brave enough to take the risks and think as large as possible.
If the first aspect of the HP Way was providing employees with freedom and autonomy to complete their tasks, the second aspect was to facilitate the exchange of ideas and words within the HP empire. Hewlett and Packard wished to achieve such exchange by caring for their employees and creating an optimal work environment in which communication was encouraged at all levels of the company structure. Hewlett and Packard recognized early on in their careers that the biggest problem with other companies was that their focus was solely on making profit and nothing else. Packard once claimed, "A company has greater responsibilities than making money for its stockholders. We have a responsibility to our employees to recognize their dignity as human beings." Recognizing this necessity to respect and care for employees was a highly controversial viewpoint in the 1940s, but many of the management practices that are now standard in many work environments have been pioneered by William Hewlett and David Packard. Some of the initiatives they launched including worker bonuses based on productivity, profit-sharing plans, flex time schedules, and free medical insurance. These programs allowed workers to enjoy their time working at HP and thus improved worker productivity and satisfaction. And thanks to such policies, the exchange of ideas and words had never been easier at HP, and the company soon expanded and grew to become one of the most influential and prosperous companies of the 20th century. An encounter between two young men that changed the world. The exploration of innovation and company management styles that revolutionized everything about business. The exchange of ideas and words that led to the creation of a $100 billion company. When looking at it from this perspective, it is actually the 3 E's, encounter, exploration, and exchange, that allowed HP to grow into the company that it is today. Had any of the 3 E's been missing from its history, HP may have never amounted to anything, and certainly not have become one of the largest and most influential companies in the world. And without HP, the Silicon Valley, to which we owe the rapid growth of America's IT industry, would never have been born. And even as you are watching this documentary, HP is shaping our past, present, and future.